I really want to say that my prayers go out to the Las Vegas victims. I heard about it today and I was just, oh my God, just devastating. I can only imagine the pain of the families of the victims. I feel like we need better gun laws now. Debate, argue, whatever you got to do, but let's get something done. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with the third night of the blind auditions with Blake Shelton, Adam Levine, Miley Cyrus, and Jennifer Hudson. They found some good people so far. Let's see if there's a winner in tonight's auditions. Here we go. First up, we had Adam Cunningham. He was 38. He did Midnight Rider by the Allman Brothers Band. And he came out with the guitar and launched into a big note with a great tone and solid stage presence. Blake was singing along with him and was the first to turn and stand while he was performing. I liked his intensity and the way he attacked the lyric and just opened up to the wail out those big notes. J-Hud was loving what he was doing and finally turned on his last note. Adam and Miley were pimping J-Hud, and J-Hud told him the soul she heard made her hop up out of her seat. Blake said he liked the power of his voice and the accuracy of his pitch, and Adam chose Blake, of course. Then there was Hannah Mrozak. She was 18. She did Starving by Hailee Steinfeld. And she gave a little riff as she started this out and got 3 coaches to shortly turn for her right away, Blake, Adam, and J-Hud. She had a nice way of rounding off her notes and worked the stage and crowd well. I also liked something about the slight gruff in her voice. It was just a little something going on in there, just a little flavor of gruff, you know what I'm saying? Did you hear that? Adam called her a skillful singer and complimented her tone, calling her refreshing. Blake asked where she's from and talked about her comfort on the stage. Adam then promised her a marquee position on his team. Hannah chose Adam because he knows the pop side and she thinks he has a lot to teach her. Shiloh was up next. She was 26. She did Stay With Me Baby by Lorraine, Ellison. And she went to Denver Performing Arts High School and Berklee College of Music. So I was expecting big things from her performance. She started out really understated, but definitely had a sound like she was singing through a filter. She's another one who was really comfortable on stage and worked the audience with her emotion. The coaches were taking their time listening and watching each other. Then at the last moment, J-Hud and Miley turned around and I was like, oh God, thank you, yes, because she had such a different sound and I was just like, man, I want to see more of this on the show. Adam went up and gave her his drink. Miley said she has Jennifer's range and her rasp and told her she's used to dealing with voices like hers. J-Hud called her voice very unique and Shiloh chose Miley, saying she'll be a good coach for her type of voice. And if you think I'd be a good coach for the voice, please thumb up the commentary and let me know. You can also let all of the voice producers know that I am here waiting just to be like a special coach or something like that, like on the side or something. Anyway, I thank you so much for watching the commentary and I thank you for your thumbs. Samantha Rios was next. She was 16. She did Something's Got a Hold on Me by Etta James. And she sang 6 times at the White House for the Obamas in this choir, right? And she also got to do a solo. I'm so jealous. So jealous. She blew up that first big note when she started, but didn't quite have the low notes in her arsenal. She finessed it well and kept up her energy working the stage. I think the coaches could tell that she was young, but she had a lot of power and really went in for that ending, but she didn't get a coach to turn. So Miley said there were many moments that were so close. Blake said she needed to take the overthinking out of it, and J-Hud told her she didn't tap into the low notes enough. Noah Mack was up next. He was 17. He did Way Down We Go by Kaleo. I don't know who this is. I had to look it up, all of that. But anyway, he started out a cappella, just his voice, and it was very effective. Such a nice rich tone with lots of emotion. He was definitely singing this with his whole body, you know, all these movements and motions, but he was pushing through a little rough on some of those notes too much for me. He had a really nice sound and J-Hud turned after he hit the big note, then Blake turned. Miley called him hot. Adam said his voice sounds nothing like he looks. J-Hud talked about his passion and said he was taking her on a journey. Blake called his voice powerful and talked about his roundness and fullness throughout his range. And Noah chose Blake for his coach. Devon Fleming was up next. He was 25. He did Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. Me and Mrs. he was just so good. He started this out so wonderfly and got 4 chairs right away. He had attitude and a certain sleekness in his delivery. Loved the riffs and the ease with which he was singing. J Hud threw her shoe out there at him and gave him the stank face. All the coaches stood for him at just a really great performance. J Hud said she's never seen the panel this speechless before. Blake predicted him in the finale. Miley noticed that he has his own style of singing, and J Hud had me getting chills talking about her journey as it relates to him. Then Miley tried to cut in and she started singing with Devon and joined him on stage. Then Blake told him he specializes in winning the show. A little dig right there from Blake. And Devon chose J Hud. And this is one I'm really looking forward to because it says that he arranges the music for several of the churches and stuff that he works for. He's a worship leader, and I really want to see him do some really good arrangement. This arrangement of this song was so good, and I'm looking forward to see more of his arrangements. Katharina Faye was up next. She was 24. She did Big White Room by Jessie J, and I thought she could have started out a little more solidly, but she soon brought the fullness of her vocal production. It was a little light in the beginning. Nice big rounded tones and lots of powerful notes. She had some good riffs, and then J Hud and Blake turned at the last moment. Miley threw her hat in the ring for Jennifer and was like kind of pimping her. J Hud talked about her vibrato and vocal quality, saying she's got the voice. Blake told her there's a broad spectrum of what she can do with her voice, and Katharina chose J Hud. And then we had a montage. Alexandra Joyce got on Team J Hud. Eric Lynn also got on Team J Hud. And Anna Catherine DeHart got on Team Blake. Next was Addison Agen. She was 16. She did Jolene. She had such a sweet voice. I didn't recognize the song though when I was listening to it. I was like, what song is this? What song is this? Adam turned and then Miley, and J Hud was swaying while listening, but I was loving the angst and passion of her performance. J Hud told her it was a pleasure listening to her sing. Blake called her awesome and gave Miley a plug. Adam called her one of his favorite singers, saying she was full of life, power, and emotion, and Miley told her she felt like she could relate to her because of their similar voices, and Addison chose Miley because she feels like a younger version of her. Then there was Adam Pearce. He was 31. He did Hot Blooded by Foreigner. Hot Blooded! He auditioned last season and he didn't get a chair to turn because he was just too spastic and too much was going on and his voice was all over the place. And this song choice, I was thinking, wow, he could really go off on this, or he could be, you know, really on it. It was just like a toss-up, because you can be really pitchy because you gotta take it easy, you gotta fit 100. You gotta be, when you hit those parts, you gotta be right on, and you could be over on the top or under on the bottom. But he pulled it off. He started it out really great. Adam and Miley turned when he hit the verse, and Miley said his voice is dope. His hair was thrown around and his air guitar playing were fun and interesting, but I was living for his sexy face. He was giving kind of creepy, you know? And I was just like laughing. The last scream was darn good too. And it was just really like controlled chaos. He was really doing everything, but he kept his voice in check this time, and that got him on a team. Adam said he was wild and crazy, but controlled and refined at the same time. Miley called his voice ridiculous and said every single note was on. J Hud said she liked the attitude and sass he gave, and Adam chose Adam. Adam for Adam! We had Miles Fromsmexy. He was 17. He did My Sharia More by Stevie Wonder. And he plays 5 instruments. And he started and had such a sweet high voice with a little nasal going on. I loved his energy, although he seemed a little nervous, but he was giving it his all. He nailed the big last note and rolled it down sweetly, but he didn't get a chair to turn. Adam said he could hear the youth and nerves in his voice and asked him to come back. J Hud told him he has to nail the melody, but said he has a no-brainer instrument. You know, basically saying he's definitely got the instrument. He's just got to work on the craft. And he's only 17. Please come back. Please come back. And in the pimp spot, we had Morass Woman because she was 16. She did Crazy on You by Heart. And she came out with her guitar and really launched into this melody. Nice lower range and so intense when she started to wail away on the higher parts. Miley turned for her first and J Hud was bopping along with her. The other 3 coaches turned while she was wailing on some high notes, you know what I'm saying? And she really wailed on that last one to close it out. But what I liked is even though she had the high and she really showcased that, when she came down to do the lower part, it was very sweet. It was well supported. She was very much into the emotions, so she wasn't just showing off. She really showed her range very, very well. Adam called her a pint-sized powerhouse. Blake talked about his reason for coaching. Mariah chose Miley because Miley was a child star and she felt more of a connection with her. And that is the commentary. I made it. I got all the way through. Oh, yes, Lord Jesus. It's been such a day today, everybody. I will see you tomorrow night for more commentaries. And I think it's only an hour show tomorrow night. Tell me who were your favorites down in the comments. Thanks so much. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. I'm out.